How you doing? This is a guy from Pittsburgh. Sorry about the hair and the glasses. I can't find the temple for these things. Coaster.com was supposed to give you free glasses. I'll find out about that later today. I can't seem to get my hair to stay down no matter what I do. It's been that way since I was a child. Anyway, today I want to talk about John Hogue. The so-called, as they call him on Coast Gab. How you doing, guys? Coast Gab 51s. Roswell's. They call him that he makes predictions and not prognostications about Nostradamus. And that ought to be the new name for John Hogue. Nostradamus, because he cleared out his sinuses of his brains when he went on the air the other night on Dark Matters, and then had the nerve to disrespect Art Bell, to post on his website stuff critical on Art Bell because Art dared to tell him to move along and quit going on and on and on with his stories and hawking his books at every opportunity. Who does this bum think he is? Nobody ever heard of John Hogue before he went on Art Bell. I certainly didn't, and I got all kinds of books over there. Don't have any of Hogue's books. I was tempted to buy them, but not now. And I found a site, John Hogue, or as I call him, John Vague. I called Art Bell last week, and the guy wouldn't answer my question. What makes you, with 20 books on my shelf about Nostradamus, so sure that you're right in your interpretations of quatrains and everybody else is wrong? And instead of answering the question, he ducked it by saying, well, Nostradamus predicted that he would be more famous in death than alive. That's like saying, I predict my big toe is going to hurt tomorrow. It doesn't mean anything. I found a site Hogue was maintaining all during the interview that he had 100% accuracy rating in his predictions since 1968, since when Nixon was in office on presidential elections. And yet there's a site out there that lists chapter and verse how many times this guy has been wrong. And he's gotten away with this fraud for years. The other thing he says, he doesn't like formal education. He has no degree. He doesn't like schooling. And he even put a disgusting thing that he came out of his mother's womb in Hollywood. And who cares? If the man has any validity, then he's interesting to listen to. And I used to enjoy listening to him. But you don't bite the hand that feeds you. You don't disrespect the #1 talk show guy in America. That's late night talk show because Art was the #1 guy when he was on the air, and he'll be #1 again on Sirius. Not Rush Limbaugh, who's the #1 in the country in daytime.
It's 3:45.
A guy who gave you your chance so you could be heard by millions of people. You could sell your books, and yet you slap him in the face. And you say, thanks for having me on, but this is what I feel about you, Art Bell. I don't have any respect for you as a talk show host or as a man. And that ain't right. And I hope nobody out there buys this guy's books or ever listens to him again. Of course, he'll probably go on George Norrie, because George Norrie sits there and, well, what kind of tea did Nostradamus drink? Did he look in the tea leaves? Did he use a brazier? Did he use a brazier? He'll ask some of the dumbest questions. I happened to do dishes tonight when I was making my dinner. So I turn on Norrie, and he's got this guy that said the Chinese came from China all the way to America before Columbus did. They had colonies here. Well, I don't see no Chinese restaurants set up in 1492. I don't see a whole horde of Chinese setting up colonies or states or provinces or cities or towns or villages or even a guy in a hut. anywhere in North America before 1492. They probably weren't there, and if they did, they got killed by Indians or died from disease or a wolf ate them or something. What this guy had on the night was too much. He said that Plato, that guy, Plato determined that Atlantis was actually the city of Minoa on Crete, or somewhere like that. I can't remember the name of the island, and it all was devastated in a great volcanic eruption and tidal wave. And the Minoans had computers. They didn't have rocks, they didn't have abacuses, they didn't have big stone monoliths. They had computers, and what were they doing with these computers? They were using them to determine longitude and latitude hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years, before people started using the astrolabe, the sextant, the compass. But these guys were figuring out longitude and latitude with a computer. What were the computers made out of? Giant rocks that rubbed together, rolled down on rollers into a little stream like Donkey Kong? I heard that and I said, this is ridiculous. I'm turning this crap off. So John Hogue, you should be ashamed of yourself if you had any shame, which you don't. And I'll make a prediction. I'll predict you'll never be on Art Bell's Dark Matters again. And you're a laughing stock of the astrological world, the paranormal world, and the prediction world. And the people at COSCAB know it. And words disseminate on the net that you're a fraud and a ungrateful SOB. You should be run out of town on a rail and tarred and feathered, except we don't do that anymore. This is a guy from Pittsburgh saying, don't follow all the charlatans and frauds that are out there like John Hogue, and I'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.